Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with a video on a humble soldier performing a miracle. It is also number 9 in the series The Pawn Rules. It's a series of videos in which a particular piece plays an important role: king, queen, rook, bishop, knight and pawn. As said, this is number 9 in The Pawn Rules. You can find the earlier videos in the playlist, which is in the description box of this video. We know that the pawns are the weakest pieces in chess, but at the same time it was the great Andrei Philidor who said pawns are the soul of chess. And we also know that in chess the f2 and f7 squares are weak squares, only protected by the king, so we see many combinations on those squares. But in this game that I will show you, this pawn on f2 will be the hero. It will go to f4, to f5, to f6, to f7 and will promote on e8 in 5 subsequent moves. Quite amazing. In problem composition it is a theme called the Excelsior. Well, this example of the Excelsior happened in a real game. Let's get into it. It was played in Russia a long time ago, in the year 1850. The white player was Ilya Stepanovich Shumov. He was a Russian chess master, served as an officer in the Russian Navy until 1847 and then worked as a civil servant in St. Petersburg. He opened this game with e4, and his opponent was Karl Friedrich von Jenisch, also a Russian citizen. He began a military career in Finland, but soon moved to Russia to teach rational mechanics in St. Petersburg. He dedicated his life to mathematics and chess, two subjects which he considered closely related. He is the name giver of the Jenisch Gambit, which we'll see in a second. And also quite interesting is that after Jenisch's death, a scholarship in his honor was established by his sister, which survives to this day. That's quite an interesting fact. Anyway, Jenisch played e5, knight f3, knight c6, and now white did not play bishop b5, after which black might have played his own gambit, the Jenisch Gambit, with f5. But bishop b5 was not played. On the third move, Shumov played d4, the Scottish Gambit. E takes and knight takes is the main move, but bishop c4 was played instead by Shumov. Also a well-known move, even in those days. Now the main response is knight f6, and then if white plays knight g5, as we see in this game, with pressure against that weak point on f7, then there is several ways black can play. The main moves are d5 or knight e5, which also protects the f7 square a second time. But after bishop c4, knight f6 was not played. Bishop c5 was Jenisch's choice. And now c3 is the main move, but knight g5 was played by Shumov in this game in 1850. Attacking the f7 square, as we saw, with two pieces. It's only defended by the king, so knight h6 is a logical move. Protect the f7 point a second time. And now we see some fireworks. White takes on f7 anyway, because he will win the piece back that he's going to sacrifice. Knight takes, bishop takes check, and king takes. Black has won a piece. But how does white win his piece back? If you want to look for yourself, put the video on pause. With a double attack, white can win the bishop on c5. Queen h5 check. Check to the king, and attacking the bishop at the same time. Winning the piece back. Loose pieces drop off. If there's a loose piece in the position, always look for ways to try and win that piece. And that's what Shumov did. g6 to shield the check. There goes the bishop. And now d6. Kicking the queen. Queen stepped aside. And rook e8. White castled. And black took on e4. And is a pawn up. The black king is quite drafty, doesn't have a lot of protection around it, but this is still okay for black. Queen d5 check, another double attack, but in this case it doesn't win the rook, because the rook can interpose and solve two problems in one go. Bishop g5, hitting the queen. The bishop is protected by the white queen, so the queen stepped aside, and now the f-pawn, the little soldier on f2, comes into action. f2, f4 was played by white, and it would not be the last move from this pawn. Let's keep an eye on that little pawn there on f4. King g7, away from the F-file, that makes sense. Black is still doing fine. And there comes F5. Hitting the rook. And here black should just have taken on F5. And after queen takes F5, play rook G6. Then white's queen is attacked by the bishop. So the queen has to drop back, for example, to F2. And black is better here. He's a pawn up and his king is safe. It doesn't have much pawn protection, but the pawn on A7 is there, and there are some other defenders nearby. Black is doing fine. But after F5, Jaenisch did not play the best move. He played a very bad move. In fact, he blundered here. He played rook E5, saving his rook and counter-attacking the queen. But he had missed a very nice continuation from white. Because the F-pawn keeps going. The third move in a row, F5, F6 check. You can't go to F8 because this is checkmate on the spot. So Jaenisch went to H8 with the king. And the pawn keeps marching on. F6, F7. And that wins the queen. Black cannot save the queen. Queen F8 is not possible because of a mate in 2. Bishop F6 check. You have to interpose the queen, and this is a very nice checkmate move. The queen cannot capture because it's pinned. Very nice checkmate picture this is. So after F7, black could have resigned, but it's good that he did not, because now we see the Excelsior theme in its full glory. Jaenisch played king G7, and the F-pawn makes its final move. F takes E8, promotion to a knight with check. Promotion to a queen would have won as well, but this is extra beautiful. 5 consecutive moves from that F-pawn, and in the end, promotion of that F-pawn to a knight. That F2 pawn truly had performed a miracle. Wonderful. The game finished as follows. Rook takes E8, and now white checkmates in 2 moves. Queen F7 check, king H8, and the last move of the game, bishop F6 checkmate. Checkmate in 20 moves. What a win by Ilya Shumov against Carl Friedrich von Jaenisch. A unique game showing that Excelsior theme which we normally only see in chess compositions. This time it was shown in a real game. Quite remarkable. Hope you enjoyed it. And then we have this position, and this is from the game of myself with the white pieces against the Chess to Impress viewers with black. On the 30th move I played the queen from C5, takes the bishop on C8, and now it is your turn. What would you play in this position? You can take part in this game by putting your move, the 30th move for black, in the comment section underneath this video. By doing so you will be in the raffle. At the end of the game I will raffle a chess book amongst the viewers who have taken part in this game. So I'm hoping to see your move in the comment section. And I hope you enjoyed this latest installment of a video in the This Piece Rules series. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel, and please leave a comment. I will read them all and I will reply to them all. If you like the video, if you like this series, then please share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter and on Facebook. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.